Hi, everyone. This is Dana with Boutique. Thank you so much for joining this evening. And if you're wondering why I'm here tonight, I'm filling in for Sonia. So thank you for having me. I'm happy to be here. We are here again this evening with Sarah Pajaro from LIFTLAB Skincare. I recognize her from the previous two events that we've done all about LIFTLAB Skincare and some really awesome clinical skincare, medical grade skincare. So I'm happy to introduce Sarah yet again. She's the executive director of accounts and education at LIFTLAB, and she is a very experienced esthetician. She's been a licensed skin therapist for 15 years, so she knows what she's talking about. And she dedicates her practice to making sure everyone feels comfortable in their own skin. So we're really excited to have her back. So she's going to be talking about moisture today and moisturizer, and we're going to be talking about a really cool product called Lift and Moisturize from LIFTLAB Skincare. And something I want to mention right off the bat is that LIFTLAB, although they're an indie brand, they actually have clinical studies and clinical test results that prove how awesome their products are. They have a recent study that was published showing the results from their products, which, as Sarah can get into, they're from a third party. Sarah can get into it, but it's very, very trustworthy and really awesome that an independent brand is able to do this and deliver such awesome results. So with that, I'm going to pass it over to Sarah, and stay tuned because we do have an exclusive discount for all of you attending today. I see you all joining. Hello. Stay tuned because there's an awesome discount and some giveaways. So I'm going to pass it over to Sarah, and please leave your questions in the comments. Sarah loves to answer questions, and we love to have your questions. So please comment throughout, and I'm going to hop off now and take it away, Sarah.
Thanks, Dana. Sorry, it took me a second to get my camera situated. Do I need to turn the other way?
You are vertical right now. We can see you, but if you want to be, this way.
Horizontal. Okay, bear with me 1 second. Let me switch it.
We've all been there with these virtual meetings. There we go.
Yes, that's better on my end. Probably on your end too.
Yep. All right, take it away.
Okay, so today we are talking about Lift and Moisturize. Lift and Moisturize is my absolute favorite moisturizer because it does so many things. So first of all, when we're talking about moisturizing and you are layering anything, we don't want the skin to ever feel full or heavy or greasy. You want to have the hydration on the skin and be able to take on the day and not feel like I have something sitting on my skin. Especially because we're active throughout the day. And if you have something that it feels like it's sitting on your skin, it can kind of feel like your skin's getting greasy or heavy. So we want to take that away. Lift and Moisturize is a gel cream. Take away the idea of feeling weighted down. That's the description I was looking for. Now, once we finish with our skincare, a lot of times we layer makeup. So we go to a primer or something that's going to give staying power to our powder or our foundation. I have personally had a lot of issues with primer, and I have a lot of clients who have had issues with primer. So when we were talking about Lift and Moisturize, we said, gosh, something to hydrate the skin and not be heavy, and what if it could act as a primer too? That's how Lift and Moisturize was born, out of this idea that yes, you can have it all in your daytime moisturizer. Lift and Moisturize comes in a jar, and this jar will last a good 3 months if you're using it twice a day. I'm going to show you how to use it. First, I want to talk about the technology. So much more than a moisturizer. It's a gel cream. So it's going to give that drink to the skin. It's going to be nice and hydrating. It almost makes the skin feel a little bit wet and soaks right in. And then you don't have that film on the skin. Number two, it's a treatment. So we are going to have peptides. We've got CPP. It's our patented peptide that addresses collagen and elastin production. It addresses inflammation in the skin. It also hydrates inside the skin. So when we use hyaluronic acid on the surface of the skin, then we're using a peptide to bind moisture underneath the skin to plump up and really allow that proper youthful rejuvenation. Now, we also have another peptide that partners with ours, and it makes this a true treatment moisturizer. So when Dana was mentioning those clinicals we have, we do testing at a third-party lab. So we do testing, of course, inside our company, but then we send our finished formulas. So exactly the formula that you are going to get in this jar, we have clinically tested at a third-party lab. They take the finished formula with the proper percentages of all the actives that we've included in our formula, and they test it. And we have had phenomenal results. So the way that we tested our creams is had it applied one time, measured it after 24 hours, and then 48 hours. And the measure that we do with the skin model is to look at the increase of collagen production and elastin production. These are the two components that are responsible for the skin healing and growing and rejuvenating. We found that one application after 24 hours had a significant increase in collagen and elastin production. It didn't stop there. It continued to work with the skin for 48 hours. So what that tells you is that this isn't something that you just put on and it kind of wears away. It continues to communicate with the skin how to behave, how to turn over, how to plump, how to heal. Now, the reason why healing is so important is because our skin is assaulted all day. Whether we are inside or outside, summer or winter, the environment, the space that surrounds us, whether it's indoors or outdoors, has components that attack our skin. So our skin is constantly trying to fight off the environment. So when you have peptides and ingredients that hydrate as well as communicate to heal and to work inside the skin, you can combat those premature aging lines. So this is a moisturizer that treats right around the lips. You would treat the entire nose area. I would go up to the orbital bone. Our eye cream goes on the orbital bone. Treat the forehead. I also overlap a little bit on the crow's feet and definitely the jaw, down the neck, and décolleté. We want all of this to match. So when I say using this jar twice a day is going to last 3 months, that means face, neck, and décolleté. So when I use Lift and Moisturize, I personally put a serum underneath it. I like a serum to hydrate and like pave the way for the moisturizer. And then you use one finger just to tap inside the jar. And I'm going to start with like a small almond, okay? And that's between the fingertips. So we go between the fingertips because if we applied anywhere else on the hand, it's wasting your product. Your fingertips are going to go directly on your face. So then you would distribute, set it on the face, the nose, the cheeks, the chin, and a little bit of the jaw, okay? Then you're going to press it and apply it and set it on the skin. Got a little bit in my hair. Now notice that I am working out towards my ears and then down. I always take my opposite hand down the neck. It's easier to go across. Now you notice that that was like just the right amount with a little bit on my hair to have full face coverage. Now I would do that amount one more time to go down my neck and across my décolleté. You always want the décolleté to match the rest of your face. And we incur sun exposure here, just like we do here. So when we're talking about a hydrator that fortifies the surface of the skin and doesn't clog pores, and then also has peptides that are going to work inside the skin to combat that premature aging. Something that's really interesting and important with our CPP or our peptide is that it turns off inflammation receptors. It balances the skin. So when we're talking about the breakdown of collagen elastin, the overproduction of pigment or the brown spots, the age spots, I have had so many clients over the last several years that have had an improvement in their pigmentation just by using Lift and Moisturize. It is because the peptides are stimulating cell turnover and then also reducing inflammation. Inflammation creates the dark spots or the pigmentation. So simultaneously, you're turning off that key that is igniting the extra pigmentation, and then you're increasing cell turnover to bring new cells to the surface. Makes sense that it is getting rid of and then not producing extra pigment. So this is a way that you can hydrate without being greasy or heavy or oily, and also treat the key signs of premature aging: wrinkles, fine lines, pigmentation, the undesired texture of the buildup from lack of cell turnover. Now, there's another component or quality of Lift and Moisturize that I love. It works as a primer. So many primers are large molecules or polymers of silicones, and those are pore clogging. So even if you ever get like the blackheads around the nose, in the chin area, even if you're not acneic prone or very oily, primers can light your skin up. Now, with the sophisticated blend of silicones that we use in the Grand Sil DNAM, you will never have pore clogging. So this is appropriate for normal to oily skin. Someone who's dry can definitely use Lift and Moisturize too. You'll probably want to layer a serum underneath because it doesn't have oils in it. So if your skin's lacking oil, dry, then you need to condition a little bit more. But even someone who is oily or acneic can use Lift and Moisturize. You saw how much I put on. The key to any LiftLab product is a little goes a long, long way. And so you noticed when I put it on how I just pressed right across. I wasn't rubbing it in the skin because you don't need to use so much product that it's going to be heavy on the skin. Now, when you are moisturizing, make sure to always go around the jaw and down the neck. Our neck is very delicate skin because it is shielded with our face or our jawline. We want to use ingredients that are going to protect and condition and fortify this skin without being overly irritating. So if you ever have experienced irritation from premature aging products on the neck, because that skin's just a little softer, a little bit more delicate, you will never have an issue with Lift and Moisturize using it on the face, the neck, or the décolleté. So the décolleté gets more sun exposure than the neck. And so we really want those peptides here, especially that V-neck portion of our décolleté, to address the pigmentation, to stave off the wrinkles in those lines that we get from sleeping on our side, right? Those vertical lines down the décolleté. So always treat the décolleté twice a day. Now, you can use this twice a day. There's no SPF in it, so you're going to layer your SPF on top of your Lift and Moisturize. When you're layering product, it goes thin to thick. So serums, eye cream, moisturizer, SPF, then makeup. Now, it is essential that you wash and treat at night. Our skin heals while we sleep. So you want those peptides to activate the skin while you sleep, to balance the inflammation, stimulate cell turnover, hydrate inside the skin, and address the collagen and elastin production. So this is a treatment in itself. You do not have to layer a serum underneath. If you said, Sarah, I am only going to do 2 steps twice a day, cleanse and moisturize, this is a way that you're getting treatment to address premature aging in the skin without having to use a ton of product. and it will never clog your pores. So even if you're combination skin, or you feel like you get blackheads sometimes, or you get breakouts, you can use Lift and Moisturize, and it's never going to be heavy or uncomfortable with the skin. So what I would love to hear is, do you have moisturizing questions? Talk to me about what you're experiencing with the skin, especially we're kind of in that transition now, winter working towards spring, please. So tell me about moisturizing, or ask me, you know, what the solution, what you need a solution for. What can we do to treat your skin and balance your moisture levels or hydration? Dana, I can't hear you. Are you on mute?
Thank you.
Okay.
Yes. So
Gotcha.
we do have a question here.
Sure.
I think this was from when you were talking about how it acts as a primer.
Ah,
Rachel says, will this product pill up on your skin? What causes that to happen with some products? And I love this because this happens to me all the time and I can't stand it. So
Rachel, thank you. That is one of the most amazing qualities with Lift and Moisturize. It will not pill up on your skin. Let's talk about pilling, because it is so annoying. I don't want it on my clothes. I don't want it on my skin. I don't want pilling anywhere in my life. Okay.
agreed.
Thank you. So a lot of times, like we said, like a primer could feel too heavy on the skin, or a moisturizer. What's happening is those are large molecules that are not connecting with or absorbing or working with the skin. They're too heavy. And so when we try to smooth them out, they glom together and pill up on the skin. So what's happening is they are comedogenic. Like they're almost like saran wrap on the skin, where the skin can't breathe and purge. So it causes comedones or blackheads or clogged follicles. So if you are ever using something from LIFTLAB and you feel like it doesn't just smooth and melt into the skin, you're using way too much. Use half the amount. The only time I've experienced that personally with LIFTLAB products is when I apply the eye cream. So I have learned just a grain of rice size. I have never, ever experienced that with Lift and Moisturize. So what I would say is, give it the test, because I have never in all my years with LIFTLAB have heard from a client that they have had pilling. So, I grabbed the jar, to be honest, out of my bathroom. And so it's kind of one that's a little bit lower. I don't know if you can see on camera, but this is like a gel cream. Like it just hydrates the skin. It soaks right in, and it's never like leaving a residue. Like there's nothing to pill up. The ingredients are very sophisticated. They are working right with the skin. So when you talk about a silicone or a primer, we are using such a high grade that it's taking a gravel road and turning it into a sheet of glass, and it will never cause you issues.
That's a really great answer. And I appreciate that answer myself as well, because I always struggle with my products pilling up. So just to confirm, it's really a matter of the amount you apply and not so much the ingredients, or it's a combination of both.
It's twofold. Yeah, it's twofold for sure. So number one, when you have ingredients that are skin loving, when they are designed to meet the skin and work with the skin, you should never have pilling.
Mm-hmm.
If you ever have pilling with a high grade product like that, you need to use half the amount, because you're using way too much. So if you're using too much product, or if the molecules are so large that they're just not going to set. It's kind of like, think of a beach ball and then think of a golf ball. Okay. So we're talking about little imperfections that we want to put like a golf ball, or like, a pencil eraser to smooth out and prime, not a beach ball. So we need a high quality, primer for that, or ingredients.
Great. That's really good to know. That's going to help me in the future as well. So we have another question from Rachel as well. She wants to know, how can I tell what my skin type is? And to go along with this question, I will add, is this product good for all skin types, or is it better for some skin types?
Great question. Okay, so let's start out with, how do we know what skin type we have? So the way that we would do that is talking about your oil production. Do you get shiny in the morning after you wash your face by breakfast? Do you get shiny kind of around lunchtime? Or do you feel like you get a little bit of a shine by dinner? If you wash your face in the morning and before you head out for the day, you start to see shine, you are oily. If you see some shine around lunchtime, that is maybe combination. And then if you start to see, a little bit of shine, I've been out for the day, I've done my stuff, I've got my shine in the evening, that's pretty normal. Skin is never designed to be an eggshell. You are supposed to have some oil. It's not supposed to be matte all the time. So a little bit of a glow or a shine by dinner, that's pretty normal. Does that help you kind of gauge where you're at? With oily in the morning, combo in the afternoon, normal by dinner time. Does that help, Rachel? And then, who can use Lift and Moisturize? The quick answer, everyone can. If you are dry, I find I prefer a serum underneath it. Okay, so if you're someone that layers, you can layer a serum underneath, and that will give you just a little, like maybe you have a serum that has an oil to combat your lack of oil or dryness. Maybe you have a serum that has multivitamins in it. That is going to be a little bit more conditioning. Lift and Moisturize without a serum is ideal for normal combination oily skin. It depends on what level of moisture or mattifying you like on the skin. So anyone can use it. If you really like a heavier moisturizer, you might put a serum underneath it.
Great. That's that's awesome. So yeah, because I know I've tried all different moisturizers, because for the longest time my skin was oily. I would be oily, at least by midday. I always wear matte foundation and it's shiny in a couple hours. But now I find that my skin is more normal combo. So it's confusing when you have combination skin. You don't know what moisturizer to use or what combination. So it's great to have something that covers all your bases. And we had a comment from Sherry. She said, "I love serum." And hi, Sherry. Sherry's a member at Boutique, so thank you. Alex says, "Yay, glad to catch a live. We're glad you're here as well." We have, that's a good part to mention, that we'll be going live with Sarah again next week as well. Same time and place to talk about the Lift and Fix from LIFTLAB. So Alex, if you want to tune in again live next week. She also said great breakdown. So yes.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. And Sherry has a question.
Okay.
She said, what about highlights for the face without perfumes? I think she means skincare without fragrance. So I believe none of LIFTLAB's products are fragranced, right?
You got it, girl. So we use no artificial fragrance, no synthetic colors. Any aroma that you would experience with the product is going to be very, very faint, very like almost not there. With one of our moisturizers and our cleanser, they do have bitter orange essence. And so it's just very, very faint. It's almost just like a little hint that's uplifting. But if she was also talking about highlights like makeup, I have to tell you, I have been using Dome and love. We're going to do a collab, so I'm really, really excited about it. But their highlighter, Dome's highlighter, is like it.
Yep, she said yes. So I think she was talking about the fragrance. So she said that sounds great. So thanks. Sure. I hope your question was answered, Sherry. And we have a couple more questions. Ethan says, Does my skin type dictate how often I should use certain skincare? That's a good
So
question.
that's a great question. Your skin type dictates what ingredients are going to give you like key results. Regardless of your skin type, you should treat your skin twice a day. You should cleanse your skin twice a day. So if you are moisturizing, Ethan, in the morning and by the evening your skin doesn't feel balanced, we could adjust your moisturizer. Also, this is almost like getting into an exfoliation question too, because if you know that you're more combo or oily and you're getting a lot of clogging, all right, let's look at the ingredients in your moisturizer. And then let's also talk about exfoliation. Exfoliation is a wow factor. And this is kind of getting into our cleanser, but I'm good to talk a little bit about our cleanser if you are, Dana.
Well, to go off of that, Ethan also asked next how much exfoliation is too much.
Okay.
So getting into exfoliation, go ahead.
I've got you, Ethan. So different ingredients exfoliate differently. It's like they have different powers or depths that they're going to work in the skin. So you always follow the manufacturer's instructions for the exfoliant you're using. For example, our LIFTLAB Detox Cleanser. It is designed to be used twice a day. So you will never overprocess the skin with it because it's medical grade. It's designed to be used on pre and post-op skin. It has a peptide that exfoliates. That peptide is programmed to only address dead skin cells. So if you are cleansing everywhere on your face and you have dead skin cells here, but maybe not so much here, but maybe some clogging here, it's going to balance completely and work differently on different parts of your face. So you could never overuse the LIFTLAB Detox Cleanser. Now, that exfoliates very superficially. It's super safe, and it doesn't exfoliate deep in the skin like a hydroxy acid would. So you know you've overdone it when the skin feels tight, dry, you feel like you almost can't talk without putting moisturizer on, you feel like you have raw or like impaired patches on the skin. We're over processing the skin. Take a break, reset, basic, cleanse, moisturize, and then we need to see what we need to do with exfoliating. Does that help?
That helped me. I hope it helped you too,
Okay.
Ethan. That was a great answer. Sherry said dome, I'll try it. So she's gonna check out the highlighter. She also says you both have beautiful skin. Thank you. Sarah has beautiful skin. I have a lot of makeup on. So
I have makeup on, but I would like to say I've been a professional skin therapist for over 15 years, and the last 7 or 8 years that I've been with LIFTLAB, like my skin has been pretty happy. Happy meaning like I'm not noticing a lot of aging in it. And I work with LIFTLAB because I want to, not because I have to. As an esthetician, there's a ton of product lines out there. And I have to tell you the results I've seen personally in my skin as well as my client's skin. Like I just can't move on from it. It is beautiful.
I mean, it definitely
ingredients,
shows.
Real results.
And speaking of ingredients, we have a question from Alex, and she said, "What's the ingredient in the moisturizer for LIFTLAB?" And I assume she means the active ingredient, or if there's certain special ingredient you want to mention.
Right. So I think she's asking like, what's the lift? Why is it called Lift and Moisturize? And Alex, you'll tell us if we're not on the right track here. But there are a couple different ingredients that are peptides. When we talk about peptides, peptide is really, 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 really small. And the peptides that we have, our CPP, and then we also use collagen and Cinerage. We use a couple different really cool active peptides. Yes, why is it called Lift?
Yep.
They work with the skin. So they don't sit on the surface. They're going to work at a cellular level and communicate with the skin to increase your collagen or elastin to the point it has slowed down. So that's one of the coolest studies I've ever seen, where we took our peptide, our CPP, and we tested it on different ages of skin. The more mature the skin, so like if we did my skin, my mom's skin, my grandma's skin, the more mature the skin, the greater the rate that the cell turnover had slowed down, or the more lift it needed, the more lift it produced. So the point is, our peptide meets your skin where it's at and takes it to its healthiest point. It's going to work different for everyone to only the rate your skin is slowed down. So you'll never have flakiness. You'll never have redness or irritation that you can get from some other anti-aging products that force your skin to work. So it's, in the short of it, it's peptides at the proper dose that work with the skin.
It's a good summary for it. And Marlene said, love all this good info. Thank you, Marlene.
Thank you.
Yep, it's a lot of good info. I'm learning just as much as all you are.
It's fun.
Yes.
It's fun to talk about like what we can actually do and the results we can get from the time that we put into this, right? We need a return on this investment.
That is true. Yes.
True.
We have another question from Sherry as well. She says, I know this is not a product per se, but what are your feelings about photo masks? I have one with 7 different lights, but some people think it's bad for your complexion. So just a more general skincare question, but I'm sure Sarah would be great to answer this. So
Sherry, I love talking about skin. I will talk to you about anything that has to do with skin. And if I don't know the answer, I'll get it. To put my stamp on something, I would need to know the brand. I would need to, if I haven't experienced this modality, do a little bit of research, because lights are phenomenal. Okay, at the right dose with the right amount of time. So for example, if the manufacturer's package says you can use this 3 times a week for 10 minutes, do not use it more than that, because it could be too much of a good thing. With that said, light therapy is very effective at treating redness, at stimulating collagen elastin, at addressing the P. acne virus. Different lights work at different wavelengths in the skin. So if you, Sherry, maybe you and I can connect offline and you can share with me the specific lights or modality or brand you have. I can research it and tell you how I feel about it. But the short of it, used correctly, lights can be amazing for the skin.
Yep. And I think she said what mask she uses from Amazon called Color Light Mask. And thank you. I love it myself. Colorful Lights Mask, she says. So I'm not sure if you're familiar, but that's a good overall answer. I was curious about that as well, just in general, because I see all these, light therapy and everything. So that's good to know that it's a good solution.
And I would, Dana, can I add, when you're buying any device to use at home, it's really important that you suss out the manufacturer and look at their studies.
Definitely.
Because they are not created equal. And I can give an example. I went over to one of my best friend's houses the other day, and she said, oh my gosh, let me show you what I got. You've got to look at this. It was an extraction kit.
Oh boy.
Okay. This is what I had no idea that they were sold in stores like this. Like, this is terrifying. So it had this cute little case, and she tried to open it and it kind of got stuck. And when she opened it, one flung out. And so there were a couple pieces, and we found them. We couldn't find the other one. We looked over. It was sticking out of the mirror hanging on the wall. That's how sharp this tool was. Okay.
Not sound safe.
Number 1, terrifying. Number 2, we pulled it out of the mirror and looked at it. Not only was it so sharp that it like went flying through the air and stuck in the wall, it had a little jagged piece on the end, and you're supposed to use this to extract your skin. So not safe.
Oh my goodness.
There is a professional extraction method for a reason. I never deviate from it. If you don't do it properly, you cause premature aging to the skin.
I'm sure.
The point with that story is that not everything that's sold is good for your skin. So if you're going to buy a device or a tool, look on the website, look for their clinicals, look for their studies, look who's backing it, look where the product is made and where the company is from that's selling it.
Absolutely. And that's a great reason why we love LIFTLAB at Boutique, because everything is backed by clinical findings, like Sarah earlier, always backed by evidence. We can attest to it ourselves that these products have great results. And you know, we're coming to the end of our time slot here, but before we go, I'm going to mention that we do have something really awesome for you all. Thank you everybody for tuning in. We are doing a limited time offer on Lifted Moisturize, which is the beautiful moisturizer that Sarah's been talking about. So for the next 2 weeks on boutique.nyc, you can use the code LIFTMOISTURIZE20 at checkout, and here it is. You can use the code LIFTMOISTURIZE20 for 20% off, which is awesome. That's a really good chunk off of the price. And it's such a great value for what you're getting because of all the amazing benefits that Sarah shared with us. And one other special freebie for our Beauty Club members. So I know we have some Beauty Club members who tuned in this evening. We are doing a giveaway of 5 of the Lift and face and eye mask, the sheet mask. Sarah, correct me if I'm wrong.
Got it.
Yeah, the face and eye sheet mask, also from LIFTLAB Skincare. So if you're a Beauty Club member, you can shoot us an email and say, I attended the event with Sarah and I want the face mask, and you will be entered to win this freebie. And if you're not a Beauty Club member, the link is right here. But other than that, that's all we have for you this evening. But like we said, Sarah will be back next week again. We love having Sarah here at Boutique. And please make sure you check out the exclusive offer, Lift Moisturize 20 at boutique.nyc. And if you have any further questions for Sarah, you can reach out to her. Where do you prefer to be reached at, Sarah? Do you prefer Instagram? You know, where do you prefer?
So I check our Instagram. It's linked to my Instagram. It's LIFTLAB Skincare. And then my personal or professional Instagram is Midwest Esthetician. And then if you're not on either of those and you want to just send, the girls at Boutique a message, they'll forward it to me as well. So any way that you'd like to connect, I do a lot. Oh, thank you. I do a lot of virtual consultations. I'm based in Michigan. LIFTLAB, my company, is based in Boston, and I have clients all over the US. So that's something that we would love to offer. If you would ever like a consultation, we can talk about ingredients and I can help you maybe troubleshoot what you could fill in your regimen to get the results you're looking for. Dana, would you want to do a live consult sometime, and maybe we can, show what is entailed in a virtual consult?
Absolutely. I was going to say the same thing. It would be so awesome. Sarah, as you can see, is just an expert on skincare. And like I said, I am not the biggest expert on skincare, but I'm learning a lot. So that would be awesome if we could do, a personalized consultation and you all can watch. And, if you're interested, you can have one as well. So, that'd be perfect. And so we'll set that up and we'll keep you guys tuned so that you can also tune in to my consultation. But yes, it's been really awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah. This has been great. Thank you for everyone who tuned in. Sherry said, great, see you next week. Yes, we can't wait. Thank you all so much. I know we had some new viewers tonight as well, so thank you. Remember to check out LIFTLAB Skincare at boutique.nyc, and have a great rest of your evening and rest of your week, everyone. Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye. Thanks.
Bye.